StartupJuncture at the next web conference with Jason Dominique of Ensemble. Startup we think that really has an interesting value proposition, interesting idea. So Jason, can you tell us something about Ensemble?
Well, thank you for having us. Basically, Ensemble is a platform for social engagement. Our mission is really to gather into one unique environment all charities and causes to make it easier for people like you and me to support them, the ones that we're already supporting, discover new ones, so what's happening in around us, and really a better place to engage with them. And the thing that we believe will be a big change is that we're offering all our services, so all the features for free forever for the charities.
So how does that work? How do you help the charities to...
Well, what we figured is that the donor, the person that supports the charity, is the real person that should be responsible for the cost of giving. You know, we think that reverse giving, you know, like sending out a donation and letting the charity, you know, having to pay for it, we think it's not the right way of doing it. And basically, we're adding our service fee, which is a clear 4%, very transparent, on top of donations. So you as a donor, you get two things out of this. The number one is that you get transparency, but also you get the assurance that your money, the one that you're giving so preciously to the charity, will actually get deposited and is entirely in the charity's bank account. So this is really important.
I also think that's really important, but the interesting thing would of course be how do you know if the charity is using the money in the right way? Because especially in development cooperation and in charities in general, that's really still an issue.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the most important question, of course. The role that we play is making sure that the money gets to the charity in the most efficient way. So that's one part. But also we have control mechanisms. So we only deal with charities that are registered by the government. So we know that initially they respect certain ratios that enable them to be recognized. So that's one part. So we know that they're doing great work. Now, how great it is, we're going to put in motion different metrics that's going to make some charities stand out more if they communicate better with their donors, you know, how transparent they're about their financials and things like that. We're definitely going to try to make the charities that are doing the best work possible, not essentially funds managing the money, but also the impact, really calculating the impact and putting it forward for you as a donor to identify the one that's working best.
Great. So when did you come up with this idea? How did all this start?
Well, I've actually been in the social space for about 10 years right now. I've been managing campaigns for big charities like Oxfam, Save the Children, UNICEF, and things like that. So I've been in contact with donors and really figuring out what makes them, you know, give or not give. Another part of that also, I've been in contact a lot with small charities through a previous project, which was a fundraising expedition overseas, which people were fundraising a certain amount of money and then they were climbing Kilimanjaro or doing Everest Base Camp and things like that. And what we noticed is that those small charities, when they try to organize events like that, they need technology. And this technology is only really accessible to medium to large charities. And this is the reality right now for the last 5 to 10 years. All products have been built, products and services have been built for the ones that can pay for it. So the small charities really are forgotten, and what we're trying to do is build it for them and give it to them. So
when did you launch the platform?
So after 2 years of research and development, creating the platform and everything, we've launched in November last year, did a small private beta with charities that we were already in relation with. That worked really well, and 2 months ago we launched it in Canada. We got a great response, so about 327 charities are interested in using our platform, so we're in a process of onboarding them. So this is where we're at right now.
So you're all the way from Canada, you came to the next web conference, so yeah. What are your goals for the conference?
Well, like you mentioned, we're from Montreal in Canada, and by having an objective of creating a one unique global platform for social engagement, the next web was really something that would help us get the word out in Europe and around the world as well.
Because you're actually already launching into Europe, isn't it?
Exactly. Tomorrow we'll be announcing that we're launching Ensemble in 5 new exciting countries, which Netherlands is one of them, the UK, Ireland, France. There's the US, of course, and Australia. And with this, we think that it's really going to be a great launch pad for us.
Okay, great. So my last question would be, what are your future plans? And then I'm not talking about the coming next 2 or 3 years, but the next few steps you're going to take.
Yeah. Well, initially, it's really about building a relationship with our current charities. Really getting this relationship stronger, better understanding what are their needs, and eventually, very shortly, we're going to be tailoring more to the needs of the donors and really creating this great marketplace where everybody that's socially engaged will go.
One more question.
Yeah.
We just talked behind the scenes about that you're still a bootstrapped company.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the case for the coming time, or are you already looking for funding to accelerate your growth? For instance?
Well, this is definitely a great point. I mean, the initial phase was bootstrapped, so we don't have any outside investors. For our next phase, which will require quite a lot of development and funding, of course. So yes, we'll be looking, for external investments to help us grow faster and reach our goal.
Okay, Jason,
Yes.
thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.